Yeah. All right. So here, what we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to say is when we're drawing a sign diagram algebraically, you can use your calculator to support you. All right. So what that means is we can get the sign diagram just from graphing them in our calculator. We're familiar with that. So first, let's do that, and then I'll try and make the algebraic argument for you. So can we pull our calculators out? And we'll go to the graph mode, and we're going to graph the first one, which is 2x plus 3. And we should be able to look at that now, given week 1 and 2, what we did in week 1 and 2. We should look at that function, which is y equals 2x plus 3, and we should see that's the equation of a line, right? Y equals mx plus c. We should know how to graph it even, all right? But nonetheless, we can sketch it in our calculator. Has a y-intercept of 3, slope of 2. It's going something like that, okay? Equation of a line. And if we want to draw the sign diagram using our calculator, we can g-solve that root, okay? F5, g-solve. We press the root button, and it's going to tell us the root is minus 1.5, okay? Minus 1.5, and then we can see it is below, we have negative, and we have positive. Now there's how we can use technology to support us, right? But I want to make this argument what I call algebraically. We're going to say if we don't have our calculator, how can we solve this sign diagram? Okay, well, for a sign diagram, what we need are the roots. We need to know when is the function equal to 0. What we're solving is 2x plus 3 equals 0. So a linear equation, we can do anything we want as long as we do it to both sides. Okay, we've got to maintain that balance, they're equal. We're trying to get x by itself. Step 1, we'll take 3 from both sides. Okay, our next step, we would divide both sides by 2. Minus 3 divided by 2, that's the same as minus 1.5. Okay, so we've found the x value. All right, we can find the x value of the root on the sign diagram. And then we need to know where now is it positive, where is it negative. Well, there's a couple of ways we can think about it. Like if we're drawing our sign diagram and we go, yep, there's a root at minus 1.5, we could look at this and go, that's the equation of a line. It has positive slope, right? That number in front of the x is positive. If it has positive slope, we know that means it's going up like this. And if it's going up, that means it's going from below to above. So we can be intuitive about it. We can use our calculator. Or we can make a mathematical argument. Okay, we'll do the mathematical argument for part B. So in part B, we have the function that we're required to draw the sign diagram for is x take 1 times x plus 3. So again, we could graph it and look at the graph and g-solve the roots. There'll be multiple roots, but let's get them algebraically. Our first step is to solve when does it equal 0? When does this function equal 0? Now what we're going to apply here is something you've learned before, should have learned before, is called the null factor law. It's if we have a times b equals 0, a is 0 or b is 0. All right, null factor law. So what it means in this circumstance, if we're solving this, if we have that times that equals 0, one of them has to be 0. Either x take 1 is 0 or x plus 3 is 0. Okay, that's the null factor law. All right, we're solving both now. We have x take 1 is 0. We're going to plus 1 to both sides to get x by itself. Over here, we're going to take away 3 from both sides to get x by itself. So we have x is 1 or x is minus 3. So we're ready to put those on the sign diagram. Now, I'm going to do something intentionally wrong. What have I done wrong? Put them on the wrong side, haven't I? Minus 3 comes before positive 1 on a number line. So we have to have minus 3 to the left, positive 1 to the right. Okay, next we need to determine where is it positive and where is it negative. For this, again, we could look at the graph on our calculator, but if we want to make a mathematical argument, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go, what is a number between minus 3 and 1? Okay, any number between minus 3 and 1. 0 lies in this region, right? So I'm going to go, okay, when x is 0, what's the y value? What's the function equal? What is f of 0? All right, I'm going to put 0 into the function. So I'm going to put 0 where the x is, and there. All right, we'll simplify it. 0 take 1 is just minus 1. 0 plus 3 is just 3. And minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. All right. So when x is 0, the function is negative. All right. What that means is it has to be negative in this region, because when x is 0, the function is negative. Okay? We can continue. We go, what is a number to the right of positive 1? Positive 2. All right, let's put in x is 2. Let's see what it comes out with. So we're going to find f of 2. We're putting the number 2 into our function. We would have 2 take 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3. That's going to be 1 times 5. It's 5. Okay, the value is not important, but what is important is it's not negative, it's positive. Okay, so that means when we put in a number to the right of positive 1, we get a positive number. All right, if we go to the left of minus 3, I'll make the argument here. We'll go when x is we'll go minus 4. Let's find f of minus 4. All right, we're putting minus 4 in. We'll have minus 4 take 1. Minus 4 plus 3. Okay, minus 5 times minus 1. Minus 5 times minus 1, positive 5. When we put a number in that's left of minus 3, we get a positive number. Okay, so that's A and B. We'll still do C. We got time. All right, C. Now, this popped up earlier. We have y equals 2 plus x divided by x take 3. Now, I'd like us to write this down because it will pop up in the questions that we do for homework. So, 2 plus x divided by x take 3. Now, we could look at our calculator, but what we should remember is it's a function like this. Ooh, a divided by b. Oh dear. Now, this function will equal 0 when a is 0, and it has an asymptote when b is 0. So what that means for this function will equal 0 when 2 plus x is 0. We'll take 2 from both sides. So we have a root at minus 2. And then we have root, or the x-intercept. And our asymptote, all right, asymptote when the denominator is 0. So asymptote when x take 3 is 0, asymptote at x is 3. So we know we have an asymptote at x is 3 and a root at x is minus 2. And then we can go ahead and make the same argument that we did before. We can go, all right, what's a number between minus 2 and 3? All right, or we can start to look at our graph and determine where it's positive and negative. All right, so if I put in 0, when x is 0, we'll have 0 0, we'll have minus 2 on 3. It's negative in this region. All right, and then we can either look at our calculator or you can work it out manually, but we'll see positive and positive. All right, so for homework, we're on to 3E. We've done question 1. So I would like us to have a go at question 2 and 3 using your calculator to help you out. Okay? So finish off 3D, or try to finish off 3D, and then we'll have a go at 3E, question 2 and 3. All right? Anyone got any questions? Have a wonderful day. Thank you.